Welcome back, everyone. Aquarian Anarchy is back at it again. I don't know. Everybody's talking about it, so we're going to talk about it now. For some reason, people want to talk about it just so they can grift and get their little clicks and all that stuff. But we want to bring your focus back to where it needs to be, and that is on you, yourself, your relationship with yourself, your relationship with God, your family, your local community, all that good stuff. You know how we do here. This is just what we're going to do. Aquarian Anarchy, back at it, primetime style. Let's go. Aristotle is our quote for tonight. The most important relationship we can all have, is the one you have with yourself. I'm sorry, that messed me up. The most important relationship we can all have is the one you have with yourself. The most important journey you can take is the one of self-discovery. To know yourself, you must spend time with yourself. You must not be afraid to be alone. Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. And it's a lifelong journey. Like, I still don't completely know myself. I'm still learning stuff about. I'm like, oh, dang, that's how I react to that. Okay. Let's work on that. Nicco, Marcus, how y'all been doing?
Good, man. I'm alive. My feet fit this morning, so that's all I'm worried about.
There you go. There you
go. Like I said before we got on here, I had a relatively restful weekend. I got to spend some time with my beautiful wife in my hot tub that we just cleaned, and so it was a good time.
That sounds like fun. Excellent. I still can't hear Nicco that well, but it'll be all right.
I walked away, or not walked away. My head was, my face is not in front of my microphone.
Okay. All right. Now you're back. All right. So every week we kind of go through this little process where we decide what we're going to talk about, and unless there's something like we have a guest that we've been planning for a week or so, sometimes we're still settling on it like the day before. And welcome to everybody in the chat, by the way. Welcome Hotep Dutch, Jimmy Doss, and everybody in the Rumble chat. We're over on Rumble as well. Greetings to everyone on Rumble. So Deion Sanders, the Colorado Buffaloes, all that stuff has been major news for a minute now, ever since this college football season started. Left Jackson State. Now, for people who don't know, Deion Sanders played baseball and football in the pros at the same time.
See, I even knew that.
Went to Florida State and then ended up in the NFL playing for the Falcons, the Cowboys, and the 49ers. And he played for the Atlanta Braves and the New York Yankees in baseball, and was in some cases playing both games in the same day professionally. Wow. When the Braves were in the World Series, he's like playing in the World Series at night, playing in the NFL during the day. It was crazy. But anyway, now Deion Sanders has a lot of very talented athletic children. And he has taken to coaching them, and he's been coaching them for a while. But now he moved that to, he coached at Jackson State for a couple of years, and then this year took over the Colorado football program, team that was 1-11 last year, and now he's coaching them. They won their first 3 games. Had a big game this weekend against Oregon that was very hyped, and they got blown out, and so it gave all the Deion haters plenty of ammunition to come at him,
because he's supposed to win every time, right?
Right. Well, not so much that. It's just like it was more of a they were clowning him because they wanted him to lose, and so they're dancing on what they think is his grave.
Just hating on my man Stilo. That's all.
That's right. So what I wanted to do, as we're talking about what topic we were going to discuss this weekend, for tonight's show, I was looking at it and I was like, the whole situation and some of the pundits that have been talking about this has gotten way out of control. And one of them, Jason Whitlock, who's been on Hotep Jesus' channel and has been on like a debate with Sonny Johnson and Unk and everything, where they talked about a bunch of different things.
I generally like Jason Whitlock.
Yeah. He's been very, very critical. And the thing is, what's funny to me is I don't necessarily I can see where everybody's coming from. So I don't necessarily disagree wholeheartedly with any of the different takes that people have on this. The problem that I have is everybody thinks they have to have a take and they have to make it like their new thing to be talking about. And it's, to me, it's, I don't know. It's like this weird sort of dick riding that like is like, I'm dick riding, but I'm not dick riding because I'm actually like hating on him, but I'm riding the, I know it sounds, pause. But you know what I'm saying? Like it's just very weird. So I wanted to play just to give everybody a little bit of context about this, and then we can start the discussion off, and I'll let Marcus and Nicco give their takes on what I'm about to play.
Wait,
but so Jason
complain about taking takes on takes with takes.
Say what?
Didn't we just complain about taking takes on takes with takes?
Yeah, we did. That's right. No, I
so let's take a take on some takes and then have some take and some take out.
Shut up. So this was funny. So I'm gonna pull this thing up because now we have the screen set up. Oh wait, let me share this tab instead. Let's do that. All right. So this is a video that Jason Whitlock put out because Deion Sanders blocked him. And I'll tell y'all, I'm gonna play it, and then I'm gonna tell y'all what I find funny about it. All right, here we go.
Breaking news. Colorado didn't miss every block on Saturday. Deion executed a block. Amazing.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Last week, Deion didn't even know who his starting center was. Who? Remember that? And you wonder why the Colorado football team is struggling with its offensive line? The head coach doesn't care. He's Coach Prime. Nicknames and slick social media stuff, that's not how you build an offensive line. That's not how you construct a running game. It's not just about talent. It's about environment and culture and instilling a mindset and an attitude. That's how you establish a running game. That's how you build an offensive line. Coach Prime, unblock me. Let me help you through this.
All right. So
if I saw that man in person, I'd slap him.
What would you say?
I said, if I saw that man in person, I'd slap him. Don't ever come and disrespect me like that, big dog.
Right.
I understand like you got concerns and all that, but like one thing you're not gonna do is just almighty assume you know what the fuck is going behind these closed doors.
Yeah, remember when Jason Whitlock played two sports at the same time? Oh.
Yeah. All right. So that one was funny, and some of that is because of this. So let's look at this one now, and I'll see if I can play it and you can hear it from here, or if I have to expand it to hear it.
Substance, not flash, rooted in substance. Today we talk with our past. You talk with your element, right? Every moment. The Cinderella story is over, man. Right? They're fighting for clicks. We're fighting for wins.
So this is the pregame talk that the Oregon coach gave to his team before the game on Saturday, before they played Colorado. Okay, so here we go.
There's a difference, right? There's a difference, right? This game ain't going to be played in Hollywood. It's going to be played on the grass, right? It's going to be played on the grass. Let's go.
All right, so now you see that one. And so there's a lot of criticism about this. They're saying that like he's like racist or something for saying some of that stuff, or that it was all like no, it's just he's just trying to get his team. He's just trying to get his team motivated, and he's like they're all hyping them up, and we're gonna show them who the real team. Like if you've ever played sports, this is what you do,
right?
Yeah, fact.
Like they don't respect us. They're gonna respect us after this, that kind of stuff. He just found a different way to,
for sure.
Say it.
And you gotta give the dude credit too. I mean, come on, they're playing against a team that, and I'm not an expert on sports at all, but if I were a coach and I was playing Deion Sanders' team, I might have peed myself a little. It'd be I don't think it's like that. Like playing basketball against Michael Jordan's team.
Yeah,
You
but
know?
imagine if you were playing basketball against Michael Jordan's team and all his front court players were like 6'1".
Oh, yeah.
No. I'm saying like so he's got a couple of good guards, but they don't have the offensive line and the defensive line.
Mhm.
But the thing is, like, what Whitlock is missing on this. Anyway, we're gonna get into all that stuff in a minute. I want to get another take. So we're gonna just go through these different ones, and then I want to talk on like the overall and where this brings us, right? So this is Charleston White. Oh wait, shoot, I'm not showing it to y'all. All right, so this is Charleston White giving his commentary on this situation.
Ron, go Ron. Y'all think Deion doing this for black kids? He's doing this so his son can go first round draft pick quarterback.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing's wrong with it. Black people, stop supporting him because you got people in your own city you could ignore. Deion did it here in Dallas. He didn't do nothing around here for y'all to run and support it, but the same black Little League coaches y'all pass by in the city begging for money on the corner, car washes, y'all don't get him nothing. No support. Black high school coaches, they're struggling. What black HBCU winning right now? Can you name one? Come on, y'all. Hold on. Why do we abandon the hashtag HBCU? Because Deion no longer is with the black people. Now we over here with the white people. Hashtag Colorado. Make it make sense. The same reason we went Black Lives Matter and white people took it over. Same reason they don't have Black Lives Matter wrote on the NBA courts no more. Same reason we're not protesting. Same reason we're not mad anymore. We are the only race of people that look to our entertainers as our leader. Other races don't look to Garth Brooks and Tom Brady for a motherfucking thing.
But why wish injury on this Sunday?
When that woman, I can't think of her name.
All right, so I'll stop it there because he did something weird. Where I don't. They're talking about something where he was like hoping that he got hurt or whatever, and I don't agree with that. But I just wanted to bring that because this is another little piece of the puzzle, right? And so now,
when did white people take over Black Lives Matter? I want to know. Because last track I had, it was that black.
No,
black
it was there was
shit.
a whole but there was a whole like you go to like the protest because that's what Trey was telling us too. Like
a whole bunch of Karens.
a whole bunch of Antifas, blue hair, purple hair, white girls out there, holding up signs. I like black dick and all this kind of stuff, fetishism kind of.
We love black people.
Yeah, we love to stand on the bodies of dead black men and get trans rights. That's what they were doing. It was weird. But all right, so
things is not like the other. Got it.
Yeah. So one last clip, and this will bring it all full circle because I want to kind of get everybody to like listen to what Deion's saying and then like take all that stuff into context, and then we will start the discussion, right?
What about me would make you think that I care about your opinion of me? Your opinion of me is not the opinion that I have of myself. You ain't make me, so you can't break me. You didn't build me, so you can't kill me. You know what? God established me, so you ain't nothing you can do to me. I've been him. I've been a difference maker, a game changer. I've been that guy. So what would change? Not a darn thing. I'm not even playing the game, and you got an opinion of me. I love it, but I don't care. And I wish the world thought like that. Youngsters, if you're out there right now, do not give a darn what opinion people have of you. Long as that opinion is not consistent of that of yourself. You be you. I'm not playing to make you feel good about me. I already feel good about me. I'm good. Message for the youngsters out there and the old school, not old fools.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
So now we have gone from a man who's very concerned with the fact that Deion blocked him and is like begging Deion to unblock him and is, making his last few weeks of existence all about Deion. Right.
Yeah.
Then you have Charleston White, or then you have the opposing coach who's just like, I'm not interested in them. We're gonna do our thing.
We came here to play football,
and we came here to play, and we're gonna go show out and do our thing, and we're not playing this game in Hollywood because he's talking about like it's like this Cinderella Hollywood script kind of thing, like it's Rudy or something. It's like I don't give a fuck about Rudy. We could go whip Rudy's ass right now.
Right.
Never mind that Rudy was like short, white, and unathletic. But that's so then you get to Charleston White, and what he's talking about is I don't like the fact that he's like wishing ill on Deion or on his kids or anything like that. That's kind of weird. but you got to extract from that what he's saying. So Deion Sanders went to an HBCU, Jackson State, and there was like this big thing was like, oh, this is great. And I thought it was a really good thing. Like he could have actually turned Jackson State into like a really like major contender and could have had them like rocketing up to basically do it's sort of like what Charleston White's getting at is like what happened when like the Negro Leagues went away and like the integration into Major League Baseball was actually
worse,
possibly not as good, or it is probably worse than just letting the Negro Leagues take off and then not bothering and being like, no, you don't get to have our best players. We're going to keep our best players over here. And then people are going to come watch us because they're going to be bored by watching you. But instead they did that, as Hotep Jesus has described it, integration is infiltration. And it ends up being something different. And then you bring it around full circle. So what he's talking about is like, you have all these kids and these coaches at Pop Warner leagues and the little, YMCA and everything else in high schools. They don't get any love. And you drive right by them when they're doing their car washes or they're holding their little bucket out so they can get new uniforms or whatever. But you're gonna go buy a bunch of Colorado gear now that a bunch of white people are gonna get paid off of, just so you can look cool in your Sanders jersey or whatever. And it's just, I thought it was pretty poignant. And so then you bring that back around to the focus of our conversation tonight, which is focus on yourself. And that last quote from Deion, where he's like, you didn't make me, so you can't break me. You didn't build me, so you can't kill me. And so why do you think I care what you have to say about me? Like, I'm just going to go do me. And it's kind of funny that y'all want to talk about me. And that's probably why he blocked Whitlock. He's like, yeah, you don't get these gems anymore.
Yeah.
I'm blocking you. You're going to have to find my stuff some other way. And if you still find it, that means you're looking really hard.
You guys be the number one fan.
Yeah, and to me, I like both the coaches. I like both Sanders and the dude in green. I like both of them. Yeah, I don't know what his name was, but I like them both. They both were. I mean, and to try to make that out to be racist is just retarded.
It's a grifting season, baby. What you mean?
Sure.
What you mean?
You're for 100%. But yeah, you're right, Chad. Though that's what every coach does. That's what they're supposed to do. Is drive and if I were, like I said, if I were opposing somebody who was famous as a football player and he's now the coach of the other team, I'm going to do stuff like that. I'm going to be like, well, has-beens don't come my direction. We're talking about the future and that's y'all, or something like that. And that's the kind of motivation you get. And go ahead, Nicco.
I don't like how this shit became political. Like, I know everything is political nowadays, but like, for sports have been political ever since they've been initiated. But something simple like this, yes, a black coach was at a black school, and then he left. And now he's over here. He's getting clicks. He's getting things because of how he's established and oriented his team. And so since he has a big name and he can move however he pleases, y'all feel some type of way about it. Y'all feel like y'all have to say something about it when it's like, who the fuck are you? Because you don't have my success and this, that, and the third. You feel like you have to chastise me about my decisions when your shit stink just as much as mine?
Yeah.
Well, and what Charleston White said about him just trying to get his son, as a first,
that's
round
every
draft pick.
dad.
Like
that's every
and?
fucking
like, what's your
dad.
point? Like what?
So you want him to fail? I mean,
no. The fact that
Colorado didn't have to hire him. Like Jackson State didn't have to hire him. Like,
but the fact that his kid was still good enough, even to get in the leagues prior to his dad, that just shows about his talent. I'm going to take care of my kids, but I'm not going to omit the other shorties that I got behind on my team.
Right.
Now, granted, I know how dads are with their kids. And they're a little bit more oriented and focused. Shit.
My dad didn't. I played outfield in baseball. My dad was like, he sucks. Let's put him way back there.
Well, yeah, I mean, but when you're coaching your own kids, so this is people often think that like because I've coached my own kids.
I hated my dad during baseball season,
bro. Like I'm harder on my kids than I am on anybody else by far.
Why?
Because I expect certain things from them. I expect more, and I don't know what all the tools that the other kids came to me with.
Mm-hmm.
I can kind of see some of it, but I don't know for sure.
I know what my kid can do.
But I know what my kid has been taught, and I know when they're doing some dumb shit that we've been over 50 times. Right. And so I'm going to light them up in front of everybody if they're doing it again. You know what I mean? Like, I just, because that's what should happen.
Fucking dads, man.
So I think there's probably some of that too. Like, you can't. There's a reason why Deion Sanders is being mentioned in the Heisman Trophy conversation up until this week. After this week, not so much. He's probably that ship has probably sailed. He'd have to go crazy the rest of the season to recover that. But
he was in the talks.
He was in the talk, and had they, even if they had put up a fight and he has like 350 yards and 4 touchdowns or something like that, and they still lose by 3 touchdowns, he's probably still in that conversation. But it was ugly. They 42-6, and it really wasn't even that close. But what I found interesting was that it seems like what Nicco was saying. It's not even that it became political so much as it became one of those things that you had to pick a side on.
Right.
And now, because everybody's talking about it, it's like, well, is the dress blue and whatever, or is it gold and white?
Or blue. Like, what?
You know what I'm saying? Like, it became
dress.
like that. Just some shit to argue about.
Yeah. Well, that's what they always fucking do, though. They find every goddamn reason to fucking. Do you piss standing up all the time, or do you sometimes sit down and piss? What is your opinion? The Democrats always sit down.
LOL.
I mean, if I got a shit, man, you know, like,
right.
Try to take a shit and not piss while you're doing it. Like,
right.
I mean, come on now. Yeah. So yes, I piss sitting down sometimes, but it ain't on purpose.
Except
anyway.
for
I always piss like I'm Captain Morgan. I have my leg up.
Funny shit.
Like Lil Wayne, 1 foot on the bathtub.
Little Nicco.
Oh man.
That's hilarious.
No, so what? As we listen to this stuff and we start thinking about how much of a distraction this all has been, and how the one thing I'll give Deion credit for is that he has continued to bring it back to, like, y'all are paying way too much attention to me. And I know I'm flashy and all that stuff. I have like the gold jewelry and the sunglasses and everything.
You hate me because you ain't me.
But it's just like, I'm just being me. And like, if that's that distracting to y'all, then y'all got issues. Why aren't you being you? Why are you so concerned about me?
And man, that is like the trouble with the goddamn world over and over and over again. How about you handle you before you start dealing with the neighbors or the people across the street, or God, those people way the fuck away. How about you deal with your shit first? You know, yeah. I think there's this whole like portion of this book called the Bible. Yeah, that says get the speck out, or get the log out of your eye before you tried to get the speck out of somebody else's eye. I don't know.
Yeah.
That might be good advice. I don't know.
Yeah, it was funny because like we're preparing for this and everything, and I have this little motivational, inspirational app that like sends a quote or whatever, and the quote for this morning was from Saint Theophan the Recluse. It says, "Your job is to work upon yourself. For this you are chosen. The rest is in the hands of God. He who humbles himself shall be exalted." And it's like, and I'll say this. It would be difficult to describe what we are seeing from Coach Prime as humility. But
I played 2 goddamn major sports.
Yeah. But he's and I think some of that too, and that's a good point you bring up.
He got a slong on him. Pause. Like he walks around like America. Back in the day, said
Yeah,
my dick is the biggest.
He
Ah,
does.
like
He does.
that's,
That's a great way of putting it. He walks around like America back in the day.
Yeah, for
Oh,
sure.
no.
Like pre-2000s.
Yes.
because we kind of lost that dick a long time ago. We
Yes.
shriveled up in the
Yes.
last few years. They got a breeze on us.
Oh, we've been in an ice tub for way too long.
Right.
Shit done went
Now-
inverted.
I know. Now that shit done disappeared, crawled right up Biden's ass.
Right. But that's a good point you bring up, Nicco, about not just playing two sports, but the position that he played. Like an offensive tackle is not going to carry that same, and it's probably maybe why some of Whitlock's attitude towards this is the way that it is because he was an offensive lineman in college. Like that was his thing. So you think of what type of personality an offensive lineman has. They're usually very soft-spoken. They're not, just kind of like a big teddy bear.
Yeah.
Like it's whereas wide receivers and cornerbacks have to have that mentality of put it all on me.
yeah.
Me on an island out here all by myself. Get me the ball, throw me the ball. I was open, or nobody can get open on me. You have to have that mentality because if you don't, that little bit of doubt that seeps in is your undoing.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, and plus,
And like a linebacker's got to be a kamikaze. They got to be like a psycho, So it's like
Absolutely.
and so does a fullback, because they're the opposing forces. Like they both have to be willing to go in there and get concussions.
Blow
over and
some
over
shit
again.
up. They ready to
That's
blow
right.
some shit up every time.
right, it takes a different personality, and the thing is, if they can't get beyond anything else, I don't know shit about sports. I just don't. But I know who Deion Sanders is. I knew that he played two sports. I couldn't have named all the shit you did, Chad, but I knew his name and I knew what he did. And I knew that all that basic stuff. So that means that he's become something. Quiet people don't usually get that kind of recognition. Now, right or wrong, that's just the way it is. Usually louder, more flashy people tend to get the attention. And those are also the people that a coach goes, oh, he's really fast, and you know what? He's also flashy. I bet you'd be a really, he'd be a really good running back. Let's see what he does. That's how they get those kinds of positions. Whereas, like I said, I was a lineman. Believe it or not, I was a lot quieter when I was younger, and I wasn't trying to be stand out and in front of everybody. I was just trying to be on the football team, so maybe once in my life I could be cool. So
You're cool now, Marcus. It's okay.
I know. The teddy bear grew into
Cooler than the toenails of a polar bear.
That's right. But yeah, I mean, that's the kind of personality it brings about. Now, frankly, everything that Deion Sanders said in that, I 100% am with. 100%. Everything that he was saying was, do you, be whatever the fuck you want to do whatever the fuck you want to do. But I ain't going to give a fuck if you don't like what I'm doing. That is just where it's at. And
prerogative.
Yeah, and that's the way it should be. That's the way what I think maybe I don't know what's going on, but it seems like that might be people trying to take him down a peg.
No, that's what he was basically showing what the world needs to fucking do. Mind their own goddamn business. Because even though I'm on this the stage, the television stage, the scene where like everybody can damn near hear my opinion if they choose to and look out for me, yet when I put my opinion out there, it doesn't mean that you need to match my opinion at all. Like, go mow your lawn. I know your shrubbery needs to be shrubbed a little bit, okay? It don't make no sense how people have the need to intervene or feel like as they have the right to intervene or speak on certain things when it's like I said, your shit stinks, bro. Please go take care of yours. Mine is pretty bad. Excuse me.
And to Chad's point too, I mean, they're talking about all this shit like it's this huge big deal. I don't know nothing about Colorado football. I'll tell you right now. I don't know shit about it. But I'll tell you what, I bet you it's not that goddamn important. Jason Whitlock's got to make some comments about some stupid shit about, college ball. Come on.
Yeah, no, I mean, but that's his shtick. He's a sports and political and cultural commentator, and so like he's going to do his grift. He's going to do his grift. My point is, like, it's one thing to talk about it and to give your opinion on it. It's another thing to go do a video where you're whining about somebody blocking you when that man don't owe you shit.
That's some pussified shit.
That was weird. That was really weird. Like that's why I brought that up. Like it's not like, comment all you want, but like, you're going to record a video where you flip the camera around and everything and you show that he blocked you, and then you flip it around and you make this little corny joke about they didn't miss all the blocks because they didn't block very well. Look, so I got to bring this up. Demon Rat said it earlier, dead right. Coach Prime has been talking about how they don't have an O-line or D-line, and if you look, like, there's a reason Colorado went 1-11 last year, and why Deion Sanders came in and like wholesale got rid of everybody and brought in, well, not everybody, but a lot of the old roster.
Just reorganized the team,
and he brought in a bunch of new people through the transfer portal. What he's trying to do is he's trying to build towards what he's trying to build, but it doesn't happen overnight. And it's just funny to have all this scrutiny over that, and to, now, if you want to say like, hey, people are blowing this out of proportion, Colorado's not as good as everybody thinks they are, slow down the hype train. But no, he's like, some of these people are taking shots and wishing badly on Colorado and Deion just because of what's going on. And even the Charleston White stuff, that's why I was like, man, like, okay, you're right that people shouldn't be going from hashtag HBCU to hashtag Colorado overnight just because Deion switched. Right. Because that's not supporting black people. That's just supporting a dude who grifted his way to the top, you know, like,
yeah,
but it's not going to help. What you need to be doing is hashtag help my local Pop Warner and my local high school and make sure that they have the stuff they need to do whatever. Don't go buy a bunch of Colorado gear if you live in New Jersey or like Virginia or some shit.
I would like to say for Charleston to say that, I hope I can see him getting the keys to the city or some shit like that, because I don't see or hear. Granted, I'm not a Charleston shoe fan, so no disrespect, but I don't pay attention to your ass. So therefore, like, I don't know if you have accolades of you really supporting your people out. Now you may have. You did talk about how, you know, Black Lives Matter got, you know, co-opted and shit like that. So you're not oblivious, but I don't know who the fuck you is, G. So like,
you don't know Charleston White?
I do, but the thing is, like,
I don't have any idea.
Money where your mouth is all I'm saying.
Yeah, I got you.
I don't know, man. It just, to me, again, you know, it seems like that all these people are getting all upset because somebody who's flashy was flashy. To me, you know what I mean?
No, it's jealousy. There's a lot of jealousy involved and envy, where they're just like, you know, it's like when Nicco, they hate him because they ain't him. You know?
Yeah, but there's grift too. You know, Whitlock's just hitting him so somebody else send him some coins. He's looking for those shekels, man. That's what that shit's all about. And you know, and more power to him. Don't get me wrong.
Well, and they will money, because there's a certain audience for, you know, a black commentator who's going to fall in line with some racist white people's opinions of Deion Sanders, and you know that it's they're people who want. There's a reason why people love Candace Owens and Brandon Tatum and those guys.
Everybody's got their click, and they gonna find them. They gonna find them as long as you can put it on the internet. Now somebody just watched that Jason Whitlock who's like, "Oh, Deion Sanders is a bitch," and then from there they don't even get the full story.
Right? Yeah, I don't know. I think that, again, it's much ado about nothing, and you know, it also, to me, maybe I'm just a conspiracy theorist. I don't know, but to me, it seems as though, at least what little bit I can see, it seems though that all Deion Sanders is trying to do is make sure that his kids have the kind of future that of the past that he had, the kind of opportunities. And I don't know that there's any father that doesn't want that for their kids. If you've had any kind of a success in your life, you want your kids to succeed at least to the level that you've made it, and hopefully get higher. And
Except
I'm
for the
guessing,
fathers who went to go get milk.
I'm sorry, I missed that one.
Except for the fathers who went to go get milk.
Oh,
Right, for
gosh.
sure, for sure.
Bro,
But
chill,
but
man.
but
Chill.
but yeah, but obviously Deion Sanders
Ridiculous.
didn't go get milk. He stayed there for his kids, and he's trying to do what he can do. And at the end of the day, I do think that part of it too is he's a positive. We've seen this over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
He has a positive message. Regardless of what people want to say, what he said was a positive, individualistic
Mm-hmm.
message.
Mm-hmm.
It was a message I can get behind, and they can't have. Imagine, and they're going to say, "Oh, these uppity black men."
No,
Mhm.
Oh, fuck all that.
hey, kudos
Yeah.
and heavy kudos to Deion, because he took all that negative shit that they throwing towards him and still reacted positively. And he didn't
This-
like spit on them when he did it. He was like, "Hold on, wait, you stay in your lane. I'm about me. Excuse me." That's some real shit right there.
For sure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that you should do the same. He wasn't just saying like, I don't want y'all to self-actualize or anything like that. He was like, no, you should not be focusing on me, and you should be focusing on you. But this is a good point too. He said, it's also because if Deion's able to turn Colorado around in one season, then there's a lot of coaches out there who have not gotten it done. Jeff Fisher, that's a funny one. Oh, Jeff Fisher, yo, man. And Lane Kiffin and those guys, like they haven't been able to do it. And so what's taking you so long for some of these other coaches, If Deion can go 1-11, the coach before him can go 1-11, and then the next year he turns around and boom, they go like 7-5, even have a winning season. Make it to a bowl game, any bowl game. It doesn't matter. Make it to a bowl game, and it's a huge success. And so it's just kind of funny that they're doing this stuff to him. But I just wanted to use this as an opportunity for us to talk not just about that and about, because I don't want to get caught up in that trap, but
Sure.
that instead we just kind of remind everybody that what we need to be doing is, instead of worrying about what somebody else is doing and whether we think it's appropriate or not or anything like that, is what are we doing and what are we missing out on in our own lives because we're focusing and spending so much time and attention on that other stuff. And so that's a great segue to bring us to our segment for this week. We started doing these a few weeks ago, and we're gonna keep them coming, so get ready. This week we're going to do another episode of Unexpected Anarchy. And this is where we talk about, a lot of times the term anarchy gets misused, misinterpreted, and demonized, I guess, in a way, because people think, well, what if there was anarchy? How would this happen? How would that happen? And I just had an example. We've got the church that I go to now. There's like a little men's group chat with all the men in the church community, and this will be the second time. And then there was another time where we like washed somebody's windows and did some other stuff around their house. She was in poor health, and she has since passed away. But before that, there was a lot of stuff. People were doing things for her that she couldn't do for herself to just kind of keep her happy and comfortable. And so this upcoming weekend, one of the guys, his family's moving, and they want, they just asked like, hey, if you could spare some time, we're going to start at 8:00 in the morning on Saturday, and we're going to go until about noon, and we're going to feed y'all and everything, but whoever can come help. And if you got a truck, that would help even more, and we can load more stuff, and we'll try to do it all in one trip. But that's the kind of stuff, like, that is just people. Nobody's forcing me to do anything. Nobody's guilting me into doing anything. This is just like, they asked, and if you can't help, and the other thing is, like, if somebody says, oh man, I'm sorry, I can't make it. No worries. Appreciate it. Thanks for letting me know. It's
No
nothing
coercion.
like, no coercion, no like guilt tripping or anything like that. And we go out there, we do it. It's fun. We crack jokes, and it's just like anything else. Whether you're helping somebody put on their roof or, clean up some stuff in their yard or move, it's a great time to like have a few beers, have some, have something to eat, cut up and crack jokes at each other and everything while you're doing it. And then when the day's done, then like, okay, if I feel like I need something later, I don't feel like I'm less of a man if I ask, because this is what we do for each other. Just like the way they used to do barn raisings and house raisings and everything else. And like I'm sure your son sees with the Amish, where they still do that stuff to this day. It's just like a thing where it's not forced, it's not coercion, but it is expected. It's just it's just what we do.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're right. In the Amish community, I mean, for instance, and they expand that shit. I guess this could have been a unexpected anarchy too. Like with my son, with a very similar situation. My son and his stepdad are starting a business, and because they've done the kinds of things that you're talking about, that business that they're starting, they're getting the Amish starting to give to their and invest in their business because of that.
That's cool.
Yeah. So very similar.
Very cool.
So yeah, and the kinds of things you're talking about, Chad, that, the government would want to step in and regulate that kind of thing. That's one of the reasons why they don't like church groups. That's why they tried to, the whole idea of the separation of church and state had nothing to do with, whether this political party or that political party is sitting up on the pulpit. It didn't have nothing to do with that. They didn't want, to have a religion of the state, that the state was,
state-controlled religion, basically.
Right. And it wasn't
control.
Right. It wasn't supposed to be. I mean, Jefferson had, he early on in Virginia, there was a couple of churches, and I don't remember which ones they were. And if anybody knows, Jefferson's a deist, so he didn't give two shits about any of it. But when he was in Virginia, he helped organize a couple of churches to use the same building in alternating times so that they could, and they used the building of the one of the early like state houses in Virginia to do it, because the whole purpose was to give people a place where they could go and have community and build the kinds of relationships that you're talking about. That is anarchy in its inception. It is people voluntarily coming together for a given cause, and that's what we talk about when we talk about unexpected anarchy. Just like in your situation where you need backs to help somebody, because I moving sucks. I plan to never do it again, and to get some friends over to at least make it funny. When we moved into our house that we live in now, our family helped us move. Now it was largely just my brother, me, and my wife and my kids that actually did the moving. But once we got here to the new place, I had family that were receiving all the shit into my house.
Right.
And it made it fun. My mother-in-law brought pizza, and we didn't have to worry about that night. And nobody had to fucking have a little agenda in front of them going, okay, now Chad's going to be in charge of driving the truck, and Mark's going to be in charge of the dolly, and Nicco's got, no, it wasn't any of that.
Saves a ton of money too, because
sure.
it's like, it can be like $1,000 or thousands of dollars to get a moving truck and hire people to do all that stuff for you, and you can just instead get some friends to. What's that?
Get a couple of young backs,
That's right.
Son, hey, I know you. Now, as a parent, you kind of coerce your kids into help moving, but they don't got a choice. But
no, I mean, I'll bribe them. I'm not going to coerce them. I'll be like, hey, look, that new phone you just got?
Is a form of coercion, isn't it?
I mean, I guess it is a little bit, but
I mean, but like you give them incentive.
It's transactional more than coercive.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we don't always need a transaction. Like it doesn't need to be like a transaction for me to want to help. You feel me?
But I got you handled. See, my son Raven. Yeah, right. Hi, baby. No, but seriously, I got my son. I got that topic handled. My son Raven, when we moved out of the house that we lived in before we came here, he still lived with me. And he learned a valuable lesson because we told him, hey, you've got until Saturday to clean your damn room and get everything packed up. And he didn't do it. And guess what didn't come? his shit got left behind because he didn't pack the shit up. So I didn't make him do nothing, but he learned really quickly what happens because
How
Dad's
much
not
do
gonna
you
pack
love
it up.
your stuff, my son?
The bus leaves. The bus leaves at 8 a.m. Are you
Right.
on the bus or are you ain't?
Right, and his shit stayed at the house. The people that we left,
Got
they
some
were
new
shitty
shit.
as hell. The whole house was clean except for his room, and it was a pet. But yeah, that
Damn.
so, right.
That's
But
crazy.
you know
But
what?
did you buy him new shit or he bought his own shit?
No, he had to buy his own shit. Fuck all that. That dude left his shit behind. Now, don't get me wrong. He brought his big stuff. Like he got his TV, he got his bed out of there, all that crap. But all the other, like I don't know how much clothes he left. It was a lot.
Damn.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, fuck you.
It's like a
You didn't do what I
foreclosure.
told you to. We'll go on and get into it. There wasn't no, you got to do this. No. Guess what? The smart thing to do would have been to listen to me and get
You
your
just
shit back.
foreclosed on his room.
Yeah, I
Damn.
did. Bye.
put the eviction tape out on there. You're like,
Right.
you can't go. No crossing.
Now, to be clear, we're talking about a teenage boy's clothing all over the floor. Ain't nobody wanted it but him.
Yeah,
anyway.
that's true. That's true. Yeah, probably some. There's probably some animals living underneath it and stuff.
Correct.
Setting up shop, but yeah. So that's that. You know, and there's plenty of other examples like that. But that's just a way of kind of showing what I always find funny about this this whole notion of without government, who would do XYZ? The answer is people.
Right.
The same thing, the same people who do it now. People do these things.
Just cheaper.
People always do all these things,
Exactly.
and you don't have to have government for them to do them. It would just shift the incentive structure. It would be done in a different way with different motivations. What we have right now
Runner and
is
trainer
like,
would be the like initial thing that we'd go back to, and like rules of enforcement, and like people want to be safe. People want to feel safe.
mm-hmm,
So therefore, we're automatically gonna have to get a lot closer to our neighbors.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You're gonna have to understand what kind of community you live in,
For sure.
so you can get a neighborhood watch. Motherfuckers do it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You guys set your rules, your boundaries. You figure out what's the end of your border, what's the end of your block, and your neighborhoods come up and create your own tribes, and therefore you have your own ecosystem that's already created. You don't need somebody to tell you have to go do this,
Right.
because are you going to want to survive or are you not? As simple as that. And if not, we all can come together and put pieces to the puzzle. So the shit is very simple. Yet when you are so sedated and focused on Coach Prime, and you don't know what the fuck is happening, you're just gonna stay stuck
Thanks.
on pointless shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I
You'll
dare
fall
a
for
motherfucker-
anything too.
Right, I dare a motherfucker to try to rob my neighbor. Because I'm telling you right now, like we were out doing the community sale. You know, he comes over, he has his shit out in front and in the front yard, you know, selling for the community sale. And we're doing the same thing on ours. And he just walks over and says, "Hey, I'm gonna go up in town. You guys mind watching our shit?" And we're like, no, go ahead. I dare a motherfucker to try to, because our neighbors are cool. If they try to fuck with him, they're gonna be fucking with us too. That's the way it's supposed to be. That's how community is built.
Yep.
So, Chad, you were kind of on a train, huh?
Oh, well, I was just saying that, like, when people say, like, who's going to do this? And the answer is people. And it's just, you can still have people doing the things that people do without it having to be coercive, forced, or anything like that. And actually, when you think about what the reason is for that, it's, so here's, after I've thought about this a lot, because we've, been doing this show for almost 4 years now. And,
That's cool.
these topics keep kind of recycling through, as you and I, Marcus, have been through our libertarian training and whatever you want to call it, through working through for the LP and all that kind of stuff. And Nicco, I'd be interested to see how some of this stuff has started to ruminate in your mind as you've been exposed to the concept of anarchy, the way that we see it versus the way that it was pitched to you before. But for me, I look at it like this. Okay, there's a natural human tendency to desire order, to desire structure, rules, and like some sort of like things that you can set your watch by. You know, like, okay, I need to know that if I leave my house to go to the grocery store, I'm not going to come back and it's going to be all the shit's gone and it's burned down.
Right.
You know, I need to know that. And so I need to have a certain, so you have that natural human need, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you have what is a viable solution, which is what if we had like a group of people who was just trying to protect those, to give you that thing that you want and need, that structure, that confidence that the system is not going to break down and it's not going to devolve into chaotic mayhem and bloodshed and, you know, destruction, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that concept, so like we want order and structure so that we can have like confidence to take our next step, that we're not going to fall off a cliff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then somebody offers a solution that's like, hey, what if we had this group of people who would like make sure that that stuff didn't happen? Okay. And then the third piece is that unfortunately humanity in its tendency to like fall into its passions and its evil tendencies and things like that is going to, that power structure is going to naturally attract a parasite class. And what it, here's the thing that's crazy about it. People think, myself included for a long time, that, for instance, the United States of America was that thing that was just the delivering the structure and the confidence that people wanted, and that it got hijacked along the way and became this thing that we see now. I would submit to you, after you read the Patriot Report by our good friend Hotep Jesus, and after you dig into a little bit more of how this stuff goes, is there's a kind of a Jekyll and Hyde to the people who built this country. And it wasn't built as that panacea that then it became decayed, and now we live in the ugly collapse of the Roman Empire that everybody's talking about now. No, it was built to be this thing that it is, because the parasite class, the people who want to live off of just skimming off the top, taking their little tribute all the time, instead of having to, through bloody conquest, go and murder and pillage to get their spoils. No, they just figured out, hey, what we will do is we will provide this structure and this confidence. They will just pay us in perpetuity to do it. And we will we'll do it to the extent that we feel like it. But if we don't, who's going to stop us? Once we have control of the money system and all that, it's a structure that was built to fill that need, but it was built not in a way that made it susceptible to parasites. It was built by parasites in order to be this thing where it's like, hey, look, I've got, it's like any con man who comes and is like, hey, I can save you from this problem that you're having. Just give me your email and password.
Right.
It's like, then you gave him your email and password, and it's like, haha, bye.
Right.
You know what I mean? I got you
for sure. Well, I think this meme, I just loaded.
Wait, I was asking Nicco what. Oh, okay, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think this meme covers it. There's a for those that are listening and not watching. There's some cops beating the shit out of some dude, and it says, "Without government, there would be bands of men roaming the streets, stealing, beating, and murdering people with no fear of being held accountable." Picture of cops doing exactly that.
That's not true. They do fear being held accountable. That's why they are always so scared when they do their internal investigations.
Yeah.
Because they will find no wrongdoing. So Nicco, I was asking you, like, what has your, have you come to, what's kind of your,
it's actually funny
worldview?
So, going along this journey of 4 years with the lads. It's been a real eye opener of what I'm in the works of cultivating, and it's really interesting. I've been like community oriented heavily
Good.
because of this influence. Like I've always was like a family person, you know, but like I realize
where it's
family
at,
is
man.
just a part of a bigger family, which builds a community. So like you don't need to be my skin color. You don't need my blood for me to call you brother, or for me to call somebody mom at that. You feel me?
Sure.
So that's the form of anarchy that I've been privy to as of lately. Now, prior to it, um, I mean, the word anarchy didn't like necessarily scare me away when
Wasn't
I
a
first.
boogeyman to you.
Yeah, it wasn't really a boogeyman because it's like when you recognize that there's quote unquote chaos, or actually not even that. It's understanding that they always change the words on your ass and the definitions of the words and the meaning of the word.
Yeah, all the time.
They've been giving us straw men lives to live. And the thing is that it's so wild that this world is based off detachment. Like at the end of the day, everything withers away and is dead. Like not dead, but it comes back to life in a different form or format. And we have been bamboozled into believing that this paper shit right here, this paper, this fucking fake ass paper and denim has any value whatsoever. We give up our lives, we give up our times, and we give up a lot more of our humanity for it.
Bars.
So like it's very, very funny. I like to like tell people about the name because they like kind of look at me, but they see who I am. I'm like, I'm not what you think I am. And so it's very cool, like having my perspective grown on a specific like ideology.
Nice.
So yeah,
That's awesome, man. I actually like to like, because I'm a big teddy bear. You know, anybody that knows me knows that I'd give you the shirt off my back if I could.
Because you were a lineman. That's what I was saying. Anyway.
But I like to like drop it, like like be like at work or whatever, and somebody be like, "Oh, you're awful nice." I'd be like, "Yeah, I'm kind of strange, but I'm all right." And they're like, "I don't think you're that strange," and I'll be like, "I'm an anarchist," and they're like, just immediately like, "Oh." But
wait, that's before you tell them you practice voodoo,
right? I know, yeah, I know.
Hey, wait, here's the kicker.
right, I know. It's great,
like shot kerosene, chaser gasoline,
right, for sure. But no, I like that, and the reason I like it is because to me, I take very seriously the idea that I am representing what their opinion is going to be of an anarchist. I take that very seriously. And because I take it very seriously, I try very, very hard to be the best anarchist I can. You know, live my ethics. And sometimes it's hard. You know, Anya came home from school, like, and yes, she goes to public school. We don't have a good homeschool program in this area. And long story short, yes, she does go to public school. I wish I had another option. I do not. But she came home from school and she was like, "Hey, I'm thinking about doing school government." And because I think that I could get some things done. And I just outright told her, I said, I'm sorry, but I support you in a lot of things. I cannot support you in that, because that is training for you to tell people that you're going to get them all this candy and you're going to do all this bullshit that you're not actually going to do. It's statism training. And I'm sorry, I cannot support you doing that. And right.
That's actually really deep.
Yeah. And you know, it's hard, but you know, it's not like I just, you know, said, no, I don't support that. And it's not like I don't support 99% of all the shit she does. You know, I'm driving her to tennis. I'm taking, you know, doing all this stuff. But when it comes to government, I oppose it. And I think that it is wrong. And yes, people will say, but she was just going to get together with, right. But that's one step in the indoctrination of this is what you do when you're a politician.
Yeah, it's the first grooming step to
Correct.
make politicians. Yeah. I mean, I did student government in college. Well, I ran and I lost. It was funny. This wasn't her reasoning, but I guess she could claim like I was already an anarchist. Ha ha ha. But you know, my wife, I asked her to pass out flyers. We weren't even dating yet at this point, I don't think. But no, we were dating. Anyway, I asked her to pass out flyers for me and everything. Not only did she not pass out the flyers, because she was like one of the resident assistants in her dorm, she could have like passed them out through like the whole dorm. Not a one. Not only that, bitch didn't even vote for me. And I lost by like 11 votes. I was like, I mean, look, I'm not saying I would have won, but
she sabotaged you, G.
Like, bro, what the hell?
She sabotaged.
No, man. She anti-groomed him, remember?
She knew I was going to be an anarchist one day, I guess. That was the thing. She was just trying to protect me from myself.
She just didn't know that she was doing that.
Yeah.
That's funny.
There's that. And then I have another simp story where she lost her ID, like her school ID. And she could have sworn that she had it in her bag. Because like we would go to this little place and you had to scan your ID and it had like your meal plan or whatever on it. So you'd scan your ID and that's how you get your food or whatever. So we went and picked up food, went and ate lunch, and she threw the bag away and she was pretty sure that she had put her ID in the bag. Bro, when I tell you I dug in that dumpster for an hour and a half, I found her ID.
Oh.
Don DeMarco. Anyway, yeah, I found her ID. You want to know what happened next?
I know what I would have wanted.
I called her up and said, hey, you need to come over. I got something for you.
She already bought it.
She came over. And I was like, and she goes, oh, I already got another one.
You're like, son of a bitch.
Women. I swear to God, man.
Well, this has been fun, even though, I don't know shit about sports and people can figure that out. Well, now they know. But I still think that I have to say that I do think that anything that pulls you off of the game that Deion Sanders was putting down, that's the problem. That's the distraction. So many times we should be, aimed directly at, impacting the people that we care about, impacting the people that are in our lives. And we should not give two shits about the rest of the world, and should not care because we don't have influence over them. You might think you do, but you don't. You just because you go in and you pull a lever for this person or that person does not fucking mean that person gives two fucks what you think about. And so again, it really is about building your own community, being and learning how to be the best you can be. And if something is stopping you from doing that, becoming the best you can be, then that's a problem. And whether you're talking sports, you're talking drugs, you're talking whatever, politics, whatever the drug of choice is, if it's pulling you off of your game, off your family game, off your God game, it's time to give that shit up.
Yeah. Speaking of family, that's my son, by the way. Jackass.
Hey,
he thinks he's funny. He thinks he's funny calling himself Ankle Drew.
Funny.
But anyway, yeah. He said, y'all ain't OGs. I heard this story first. Yeah. Okay.
Right on.
Go to bed.
Kids today.
Too early. So he's over here begging me for he said he gave my wife $20. So can he buy something on 2K with it? I'm like, bro, chill. I'm on the air. Yeah, I saw that. Get off my screen with this bullshit.
Chad's son's
that's beautiful.
stalking his ass in the show.
That's beautiful.
He came in the chat. Look at that.
That's funny as hell.
I want to buy some VC. Oh my
Yeah,
God,
listen,
I swear.
hey, dude, he's got it right though, man. He's got that right. Put that pressure right
Hey,
now.
look, hey, no, you remember what we were talking about though, right? Guess who's coming to help me move my friend on Saturday?
Right, of course.
Anyway, all right.
All right, guys. It's been fun. You guys
It
got
has been.
anything to close?
Nah.
All right. Well,
No, do you? And to quote if you were watching on Rumble, the video that we played before the show started over there, if shit goes wrong, it ain't gonna be because of me. That was basically the message that Deion was given to his team. Was like, you take care of your own business, and you go into it with the attitude of, we might get beat, but it won't be because of me. It's because I'm going to put every bit of effort. Because he was talking about how he interviewed for a job, and he had prepared and like had everything going. And he's like, if they don't hire me, it ain't because of me. It's because of them. Yeah. Because I did everything, and I think I'm the best person for this job. And so there's often a fine line between arrogance and confidence, and just like being confident. And I think a lot of times people are so afraid that when they see someone else confident, it pisses them off because they're mad at themselves for not being able to be that confident in themselves.
Amen.
And so that's what they're most jealous of, is that. So with that, y'all never forget.
Stay free.
Peace.